Howdy folks, Chico with He Provides. Today we've got a quick baby steps update. If you follow Dave Ramsey, you know what baby steps are. Before we get into it though, I'd like to ask you guys if you would share this video all around, give us a thumbs up, and if you are not already a subscriber, please consider becoming one. We'd greatly appreciate it. So, Dave Ramsey. He's a guru for getting out of debt, and we owe him a great deal of gratitude, and I'll touch on that again in a minute. But he has 7 baby steps to get from debt to wealth. Baby step 1 is $1,000 in an emergency fund. Step 2, pay off all debt with the debt snowball method. Step 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses and savings. Step 4, invest 15% of income into Roth IRAs and pre-tax retirement plans. Step 5, college funding. Step 6, pay off your home early. And Step 7, build wealth and give. We started Dave Ramsey a long time ago. Read the book, Total Money Makeover. Great idea, and it did help. We changed how we did some things, but we didn't really dive into it like we should have. Wasted some time, read it again, really got on ball with it the second time around. We've touched base on that a little bit in previous videos. Step 1 was already, when we read the book the second time and decided to get serious about debt and investing and wealth and giving and those things, we had the $1,000. We jumped on baby step 2. We paid off all of our debt, and we did for the most part use the debt snowball. If we had a debt that was $3,200 and we had a debt that was $2,700, $2,780, right around there, and those were similar debts actually. I just don't remember the exact numbers. When the higher debt had a much higher interest rate, in that case we didn't exactly go from smallest to largest. There was not a huge amount of money difference in those two debts, so we killed the one with the highest interest rate first and then went and killed the other one. So not a legalist, not a stickler for everything's absolute set in stone. I believe there has to be leeway because every life is different. But we did. We paid off all of our debt. And step 2 is pay off all your debt except your home. Okay? That's important. Step 3, save 3 to 6 months expenses and savings. That was a little bit of work. And I hear a lot of folks say, the average middle class American family, 6 months of expenses is about 10 grand. So we got to that point, and I'll come back to that in a minute. We made that benchmark. Step 4, baby step 4, invest 15% of income into Roth IRAs and pre-tax retirement plans. We were stuck between steps 3 and step 4 for quite a while. We were saving 10%, boom, every paycheck, boom, any extra income we incurred, boom, we were saving 10%. But getting to 15 was a bit of a challenge. We just wasn't getting there. And it's not that we had outlandish expenses. For those of you that have been following us a while, you know how frugal we are. We have a frugal life. But our income was the issue. We just didn't have enough income. My wife had changed her income for the better, and that helped. But I also needed to change my income. And I did. And I got a much better paying job, better benefits, which also came with a 4% match on a 401k, which we'll get to here in a minute. So we struggled for a long time, got the new job, and now we're past the 15%. I'll come back to that. Step 5, college funding. All of our children are adults and moved out and living their lives, and so that's really not for us. That's not something we're going to do. Step 6 is, and a couple of our kids aren't interested in going to college at all. Step 6, pay off your home early. Step 6 is where we're at, okay? And step 6 is, we will move into step 6 next month, and I'll come back to that. Okay, so step 3, 3 to 6 months expenses, we got there. Struggling with getting to 15%. We are now saving about 20%. So we've surpassed the 15%, and we're now saving about 20%. And we've also began to increase our emergency fund from 6 months of expenses. The goal is to 12. We want to get our emergency fund fat enough that we can cover a full year's expenses. And here's what we're going to do with that money. We're going to keep about a quarter of that. We're going to keep about 3 months worth of emergency fund right here in our credit union, a bricks and mortar credit union. It only pays 0.35% interest, but I can get to it immediately. I have a debit card. I can go to the bank, access immediately. The rest of it is going into a high interest money market account online, which is paying us 2.25%, like 5 times, I think, maybe more. I don't know. Should have done the math first, but it's considerably more. So we're going to keep three quarters of that, 75% of our emergency fund, in that account. The reason being is it pays much higher interest, but it literally takes me 3 to 5 days to get my money. So if we have a bona fide right now emergency, which we kind of do with our rental property, that'll be another video for another time. But if we have a bona fide right now emergency, we might not have 3 to 5 days to wait to get that money. But to reap the most benefits, we're going to put 75% into a online money market account. We're going to keep 25%, 3 months worth, in a money market at our credit union, but it's a very low interest money market account. So invest 15% of your income. Baby step 4. Neither one of us had a retirement account whatsoever. When I took the new job, they have a matching 401k. They match up to 4%. So immediately I jumped on the 4%. I've since raised it to 5%. We did our taxes last night. I'll be raising it again in a day or two. So we're saving 20% of our bring home income plus the 5% out of my check pre-tax deduction. So we're saving better than 20%. But we're getting ready to set up a IRA for my wife, and we're going to set up a Roth, likely for both of us. That way we can take advantage of pre-tax and after-tax. But we're looking at 20 to 25% of our income that we hope to save and put into retirement funds and put into Roths. Now we also, the 20% we've been saving, it was gradual, 10 to 11 to 12 to 14% to 16% to 17 to 19, and we're now at 20. It was work. It was a gradual increase. We've put a big chunk of that into another online money market account, so it's drawing interest. So we've actually got money set aside to open up these other accounts, and we'll be doing that soon. Skip step 5. Step 6. We've got a unusual situation in that we have a 0% interest loan on our house. So I haven't been real concerned with paying it off, but we want to start paying more. And basically what it amounts to, since there's no principal to pay on, essentially there's no interest, so everything you're paying is going on the total amount. So essentially the way this is structured is anything over our payment amount, our mortgage payment amount, will be calculated towards an additional payment. So we've calculated what it would take over our mortgage amount to come up with one extra monthly payment per calendar year. And we're going to start that in April. And we will likely make up the difference for the first quarter. And our intention is to pay on the house enough extra to build up basically an emergency payment every year. I've struggled with this because mathematically it would make more sense to put that money in a money market account and draw interest on it. So I would really like your take on it. Should 0% interest loan on our mortgage, is it really worth it to pay any extra to build the cushion of a extra month's payment per year? Or should I take that extra and sock it into an interest-bearing account and get some income off of that? Tell me what you think. I've really struggled with this decision and I could use your guidance. So our update is we got Mad Dog down into it. We dug in. We realized we're at a stage of our life that we shouldn't be. She's in her 40s, I'm in my 50s, no retirement funds. And when we started this process, we had a little bit of money, but not much. We've never had a lot of debt, but we had no retirement fund. We were in a bind. So Dave Ramsey, owe him a great deal of gratitude. We wouldn't have gotten here if it wasn't for him. I use the Every Dollar app on budgeting every day. I highly recommend it. But now as far as Dave's principles, Total Money Makeover, we've gone the gamut with that. Now we're focused on learning about investing and making our dollars work for us and bringing us more dollars. So we began to dig into other authors. We began to look at John C. Bogle and the Bogleheads books, and we've looked into who else? I'm reading Anthony Robbins right now, Unshakable, and we're going to do a books that are changing our life video soon. But Dave, there's a lot of people that swear by Dave, and there's a lot of people say that he's only good for you if you don't have the discipline to get out of debt. The truth is, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Dave Ramsey, but there's only so far in this journey that Dave can take us, and he took us every step of the way. Now we're looking elsewhere to take us to the next level. Owe Dave a big debt of gratitude, but we're also looking beyond. So that's where we're at. Baby steps. We're at step 6. Let me know if you think we should pay extra on a 0% loan on our mortgage, or should that money go into a money market account? And as far as step 7, build wealth and give, we're working on the building wealth, but we've always gave. Always. Whatever we brought in, we gave out of that. Whatever we had extra, we gave. Giving has always been part of who we are, but if you look at our name, you know that we believe He provides. Guys, thanks for coming along. We appreciate you. Godspeed.